Hello, I am Father Jorge Gomez, the rector of the Basilica of Our Lady of San Juan del Valle, here in San Juan, Texas. We're living unprecedented times. I want to offer you some guidelines as we get ready to reopen the church so that you all can come to venerate our Blessed Mother, to participate in Mass, and to be part of this beautiful community. First, when you plan to come to the Basilica, we ask you to bring your face mask. As you enter the Basilica, you're going to be required to wear your face mask as long as you're inside the Basilica. Please bring it. If not, we're going to have a face mask for sale at the entrance of the church. As we prepare to organize and the logistics of the Basilica inside, we would ask that every pilgrim that comes enter through the main doors. We're going to use the front doors just to enter, and then we're going to exit through the side doors, because we don't want you to be just encountering people as you go out or people come in. So we ask you that please come through the main doors and then get out through the side doors by the mosaic. We ask you to please practice social distancing. Keep the 6 feet required by the state and the county between every person, unless you're coming as a family. But please try to keep the distance between you people and the pilgrims that are here. When we participate at Mass, we're going to be accommodating the pilgrims. Please follow the instructions of the sacristans and volunteers in the Basilica. We ask you to use every other pew. Leave an unoccupied bench in between. If you're coming as a family, up to 6 people you can sit together. If you're not coming as a family, please practice social distancing. Sit every 6 feet, every other pew, and follow the instructions of the sacristans and volunteers. In order to make this easier, because you're going to be wearing a face mask throughout the Mass, we're going to make the songs very short. We're still going to sing during Mass, but short songs. During the sign of peace, this will continue being the same as we did before during different times, the COVID-19 or the influenza. Not shaking of the hands, not hugging. It's just going to be bowing to the person that is in front of you, in your back, or in your sides. For the communion, since you're going to be wearing a face mask, we're going to ask you to stay in your places. Since there is a pew in between or an unoccupied bench in between the pilgrims, you don't have to make a line to receive communion. The communion minister or the priest will go to where you are. We will ask you, if you're receiving communion, please stand up during that time so the Eucharistic minister, the extraordinary minister of communion, knows who is going to receive communion. Stay in your place, stand up, and as the minister approaches you, uncover your mouth or take off your mask, then receive the body of Christ with a lot of respect, put your face mask back on, and sit down. I know that a lot of you are just waiting for the Basilica to be open to come to confessions. We're not going to be able to offer that sacrament at the beginning. We need to see how things are going to be going. So we ask you to please call your parishes, go to confession to your pastors or to your priest as we reaccommodate. We're not going to be able to use the confessionals. As you know, they are very small. We need to keep the distance, and we don't have the space to have the 6 feet between the penitent and the priest. So please, go to your parishes for confession. Once we figure out what to do here in the Basilica, you're more than welcome. But at the beginning, we're not going to have the sacrament of reconciliation available, at least for the first 2 weeks. The Mass schedule is going to change. During the weekdays, we used to have a 6:30 a.m. Mass, at 11:30 a.m., and at 5:30 p.m. Mass. As we reopen and we need to sanitize the whole church after every Mass and before Mass, we are not going to have the 6:30 a.m. Mass, at least for the beginning of the reopening. We are going to have a 11:30 a.m. Mass bilingual and a 5:30 p.m. Mass bilingual. On Sundays, the schedule is changing as well. We're going to have a 7 a.m. Mass in Spanish and 9 a.m. in English, 11 a.m. bilingual, 1 p.m. Spanish. We're not having the regular 3 p.m. Mass or the 5 p.m. Mass. We're having a 6 p.m. Spanish Mass. and we're not having a 7 p.m. Spanish Mass. Please be patient, stay healthy, pray for an end on the pandemia, and keep us in your prayers. And as we get ready to reopen the Basilica, continue to practice social distance, stay healthy, pray more, and keep us in your prayers. And God bless you. Ready?